Alright, Brett, I'll bite. I'm going to expose myself quite literally here at this point, except in a figurative sense and a visual sense, but I will be exposing quite a bit of information about myself. BDSM, the concept of power exchange, consensual power exchange I should say, is quite an interesting, fascinating subject. I've lived in the lifestyle for years off and on. When I have a partner, I'll often introduce them to pieces of it bit by bit. When I don't have a partner, so be it. There's always good images, right? You can always have fun with that. But that's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss point by point. One of the points he brought up was golden showers and scat play. It's kind of an interesting, but personally I find it a disgusting topic. It's quite an interesting exchange between two people. You have one person degrading another person in the ultimate mental human facet possible. You basically are pissing and or shitting on another human being, and they are willingly allowing you to do it. You are basically, for lack of a better term, putting them in their place. It's a very bizarre combination of mental facilities where you allow and you facilitate a person to be disgraced and degraded to the point that they are nothing more than a, well, piss and shit smear in front of you. I do personally find the practice rather disgusting, I'll be honest. But at the same time, I find it rather fascinating that people do it. Next topic. Anal sex again is kind of a bizarre one. A lot of people view it as a dirty, as dirty if not dirtier than scat play, which is kind of funny considering scat play is actually excrement coming out of the body, where anal sex, well, you can clean it up with an enema if you really want. Rubber works very well as well, very easy to dispose of. Anal play kind of goes into enema play, which is again kind of a bizarre subject in its own right. Enemas are used, or were designed and used to clean bowels of people who are having bowel problems, but the BDSM community has found an interesting and funny way to use it in terms of cleaning out the rectum and anal tract. It makes anal sex quite enjoyable actually if you do it properly, because you can actually use it as a lubricant. You don't have to add a secondary lubricant in. Save some time. The anus actually is quite an interesting little organ that we have. The orifice of it is quite an astounding little piece. Not only that, but you also have the prostate gland, and the prostate gland, whew, that's one hell of an orgasm, I tell you, man. But the anus itself and the orifice of the anus actually has more nerve endings. Not as many, I don't think it has as many as your foot, but it has more nerve endings than a lot of other parts of the body. Definitely has more nerve endings than the nipples, and those are fun. But it's kind of an interesting and bizarre combination. It just feels good to some people, and other people never go there simply because, well, the mental idea of it just simply disgusts them. They don't know what they're missing. They should try it. What the hell? You only live once, right? The act of sadomasochism. Sadists and masochists. The Marquis de Sade, who ultimately is the accredited name of sadists, wrote journals of torturing and raping and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. Part of the thing that you have to remember with sadomasochism is that pain and pleasure are so close together that the line of them can be blurred very quickly and very easily if it's done in the hands of the right person, where you can actually take and blind the barrier of pain and turn it into pleasure. The thing is, a person's body cannot go as far in pain as it can in pleasure. So what you give the person the opportunity to do is hit an echelon equivalent to taking drugs without drugs. The endorphins and chemicals that it releases to protect the body and the brain that get transmitted from pain into pleasure is quite an amazing topic. As I said, you can literally give a person a high more effective than taking drugs if it's done properly, without the long-term side effects, without any damage to the body, as long as you do it properly, of course. You gotta remember, they are using weapons, and weapons can be dangerous. And the effect can last for days. Honestly, as a separate entity or separate choice to drugs, I would take that over drugs. And it goes on both sides of the coin, although definitely the person being beat has a hell of a lot better trip in the long run. It lasts a hell of a lot longer. The person beating them actually sexually gets off on it, which is kind of funny. Nothing like sporting a hunk of wood, I have to say, as you're beating the shit out of someone. The unfortunate part is, BDSM does not equate to sex in all cases. Actually, in general, it doesn't equate to sex at all. Although, If you do have a relationship or sex is involved, it's very fun. Instead of just great fun. Or is it the other way around? Who cares? It's fun, and I damn well enjoy it. But if you're having problems with people moving around and screaming, you got two choices. Very simple choices. One's called a ball gag. Shuts them the fuck right up. And you know what? If you're smart, you get a ball gag with a little hole in the middle, and you just stuff your pecker right in, and you automatically got oral sex, and they still can't scream efficiently. Great fucking toys. Got to admit. Love them. As for squirming around, well, you know what? It's called Velcro in your bed. You can buy Velcro straps, strap them right down to the bed, and they don't fucking move. I don't care how hard they try. And if you're not into that, well, guess what? You can always just tie them up on a chair, and that works too. And if that's not quite to your fancy, well, you can always just put them over the table, tell them not to move, and hey, you got full access from behind. Either or. It's fair game at that point. To me, oral sex is shilly foreplay. Feels good to do it to someone else. You may as well. If you're not willing to do oral sex, well, hey, you're missing out, and you're only tasting the tip of the iceberg. Because trust me, a woman who knows how to perform oral sex can send you to the moon. A man who knows how to perform oral sex, although few and far between unfortunately, well, they can return the favour in kind tenfold, simply because a woman, unlike a man, although she orgasms, does not give up quite as easily as a man, and will not go limp. With a man, if he ejaculates, well, he's pretty much fucked. A woman, if you know how to do it, and you can get the rhythms down, and you can get in tune with her body, and you can get in tune with her biorhythm, you can send her into orgasm after orgasm after orgasm, and trust me, she will thank you for it at the end of it. And better off, and better for you in the long run, the sex that you will have is far superior, far happier, and you will have a much more fulfilling relationship, because sex will never become an issue between you. People who do not enjoy oral sex, in my opinion, just simply have a mental block more than anything. Let's be honest, okay? At the same time, as much as I enjoy it, a comedian once compared them to two things. A man's penis is like a finger. Sucking on a finger really isn't that bad, even if the finger does squirt back at you. Now, on the other hand, a woman's vagina is much more like an armpit, and unfortunately, it has the same characteristics as an armpit. When clean, everything's fine. However, once again we're hitting the realm of fetish here, but if she's been working out and she hasn't had a shower that day, or, well, she has poor hygiene, it can be a little bit, like an armpit. Oddly enough, though, there are people out there who rather enjoy the unique offerings of the peculiar odor associated with sex, either lack of hygiene or an active lifestyle that has not had the opportunity to wash up. As strange as that one is to me, it's there. Ugh, bestiality. One of the few fetishes I don't know much about, I don't care to know much about. Ultimately, no matter what subject I've hit, skipped, and otherwise missed, just for the sake of speed here and time. Sex is like an ice cream parlour. Multiple flavours, multiple options, and multiple ways to put your flavours and your options together. It just depends on what you choose to enjoy. There is vanilla sex, which is your conventional, everyday, happy day sex. And then there's the other flavours, shall we say. Whatever they happen to be, pony play, BDSM, power exchanges. Hell, 10 to 1. Most people out there have actually practiced BDSM to some degree or not. Think about it this way. Blindfolding your partner is a form of BDSM because they do not know what's coming at them next. Tying your partner's hands up is a form of BDSM. It is an exchange of power. You have taken on the role of submissive and dominant in your relationship. Even if it is just for a short period of time. Even if it is just playing around. Ultimately, it boils down to this. The only thing that is deemed kinky in the eyes of a sexter is an act or action that they are unwilling to participate in themselves. That is about the only thing that you will ever find them referring to as kinky. Well, take care of your body and enjoy your body. Or enjoy your partner's body and their own body together.